Hi friends, welcome back to Aasai Rasai. Today I'm making a vegetarian vegan meal combo, and I thought I just wanted to make it really simple, very basic, and here's what I thought I'll do. I'm going to make a potato curry, a white potato curry, sambol, eggplant salad, and I have a bunch of extras like papadum, fried curd chili, and cucumber slices. If you get a chance to try this combo, let me know how it goes. And to get started, I have put all the ingredients into the pan for my potato curry. These are fenugreek seeds. You don't want to put too much because that makes the curry bitter, so just a little pinch is enough, and it helps. It has a lot of health benefits, they say. I'm using tomato because I just have it lying around, but if you don't have tomato, you could always use a little lime juice at the end of cooking this. I extracted some coconut milk this morning, so I'm going to use the second and third extract to cook down the potatoes in, and then after that I will add the first extract, or the thick milk that we get from it. Another way to do it is to add water instead of coconut milk, and then when the potatoes are boiled and the water has reduced, you add the thick milk to create the gravy. Cooking in thin coconut milk can be a little tricky. You got to make sure that it's thin enough that it doesn't clot during cooking. If you're not sure, just cook it in water and then finish it off in the thick coconut milk to be on the safe side. Now, I'm going to be stirring this on occasion throughout the cooking process just to make sure that the curry or the gravy turns out smooth. Now, while this is cooking, I'm going to start working on my other vegetables. But I wanted to show you, this is midway through, and you can see it's already starting to clot. But that's an easy fix at this point. Just go in with the spoon and keep stirring like this for a minute or two, and then that will break up the clots. Cover the pan and cook until the potatoes are done. Now, while this was cooking, I cut the eggplant into strips. I'm sorry, but this part didn't get recorded for some reason. So I have put a little bit of salt and some turmeric. I've mixed it up with my fingers like this, and this is going to sit for about 10 or 15 minutes. Meanwhile, the potatoes are almost done. I can poke the knife right through it, so that tells me, although it's a little bit firm, that's fine. It tells me that it's almost done. So time to add the thick coconut milk, and here it is. So give it a good stir. I have turned off the heat because there's enough heat in the pan to warm up the milk, the thick milk that was added. So I don't need to really bring it to a boil or anything. That's going to clot the milk. So avoid boiling it again. Just heat it through and move it over to a cooler spot on the stove. Now that the potato curry is done, I can work on the eggplant. I'm going to fry these, but before that, let me quickly show you. This is what I'm going to do at the sink. I just wanted to show you how it's done. Take a bunch of eggplant pieces like this in your hand and squeeze out the water. The salt we added and the fact that it was sitting for about 15 minutes, that's what helps to draw the water out. And you want to squeeze as much as possible out of it. And then it'll be ready for frying. The oil has been heating on high, and as you can see, I have put in a little piece of eggplant to see whether it's sizzling. It usually has to float to the top and sizzle if the oil is hot enough, but the oil shouldn't be smoking hot too. If it starts to be smoking hot, you need to cool it back down before adding the eggplant. This might seem like a little too much eggplant for the oil. If you add too much eggplant, it's just gonna become really mushy because they need to be spaced out, but I think I can get away with this. So I'm gonna just kind of spread it out like this and not touch it until it starts to turn brown. They usually shrink, so I'm still okay with it. But yeah, just try to avoid this. You could fry them in small batches just to be on the safe side. When the eggplant becomes a light golden brown, just pay close attention to it, because from that point onwards, it's going to turn brown very, very fast. And the darker it gets, the more bitter it becomes. So you want to catch it when it's like a medium brown. This is what I'm talking about. You can see the eggplant has shrunk, so I'm able to move it around the oil a little more. Keep moving it in the hot oil so one side of the eggplant doesn't burn. And when you take it out of the oil, it's still going to be frying, so it will turn a shade darker than what it is when you first took it out of the oil. I'm going to remove the eggplant from the hot oil and drain it on a paper towel, but I'm going to use the same oil to fry some papadum and the curd chilies. And then after that, I'm going to discard this oil because, as they say, it's not good to reuse and reheat and keep the oil for later. Although it was done long years ago, I think we're now more aware of the health effects of that. These are curd chilies. They are chilies that have been soaked in curd, salted and dried. So when you fry them, they become really crispy, and they're also very spicy. They fry really fast, so you got to be very careful and very attentive that you don't burn them. And this is something we get from Tamil cuisine, even the papadum. This is the great thing about Sri Lankan food, in my opinion. We have the influences from years and years of colonization and trading, and then the regional influences. And that, to me, is why Sri Lankan food takes the top place on my list of favorite foods in the world. Now this eggplant salad is almost ready, so take a taste and see if there's enough lime juice. Lime juice would be the dominant flavor in this. Also, I'm not adding any salt because it was already salted when I soaked the eggplant. At the end of this video, I will link all these recipes that I have featured in this menu. And at any time, if you want to look up a recipe that I have uploaded, you could just Google Aasai Rasai and the name of the recipe and it will come up. It's time to make the pulse sambol, and this is my last dish. I don't want to add any more chili into my food today. I have the curd chili, I have green chilies in my eggplant, and I have a lot of black pepper in my pulse sambol, so I'm good. The only thing is I do like a little green in my pulse sambol, so in place of the green chili, I'm adding some chopped curry leaves. If you add a lot of chili powder, then your pulse sambol is going to be really vibrant and bright, but otherwise it's just going to look mild, and that's okay. A softer color is fine. It all depends on the strength of the chili that you use. Some types of chili powder you only add a very little bit, and a little goes a long way in terms of spiciness, but things like Kashmiri chili powder or paprika, you could add quite a bit and you just get a darker color but very mild heat. Now my coconut is the frozen coconut that I defrosted in the refrigerator overnight. So although I mixed it, I feel like I could soften the oils a little more. So I'm going to transfer this to another bowl and then microwave for a few seconds to loosen up that oil and distribute the flavors. And now the lunch is ready. So let's serve it on a plate, and then I'm going to photograph it before diving in. And as you can see, this is the potato curry. It's thickened quite a bit. This is an average everyday meal. It's not for a special occasion. However, the potato curry and the eggplant can be included in a festive menu as well. Now, as you can see, I have one fried item, one sambol, and one curry. That's pretty much good enough for a daily meal. And then we have the extras as well. We have the sliced cucumber, and I wanted something that was crunchy. I wanted something that was green, and cucumber really answered that call for me. Of course, the vegans won't be able to have the curd chili, but there's plenty going on this plate, even to satisfy a non-vegetarian. And look at the slices of the green cucumber. It really brightens up the plate and ties everything together very well. We have the color, we have the texture, we've got the flavors going on this plate. I think you're really going to like this combination. Let me know what you think if you get a chance to try it out. I'll be back with more menu combinations like this. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, so you will get an alert when I upload a new video. Until then, thanks for watching.